Good morning, Ugly Mug Marketing followers. Welcome to another edition of Ugly Mug Marketing Coffee Chats, the live show where we drink coffee or tea or water and chat about marketing. My name is Hannah Balia, and I am the Director of Communications and Teaching here at Ugly Mug. And today I am joined by Ugly Mug Marketing Manager. That's kind of a mouthful. Hannah Broom. Hannah, welcome to Coffee Chats.
Hi, welcome. Good morning. Glad to be here with you.
Yes, I know we've both been running around doing all the things. It's a crazy season at Ugly Mug. I think sometimes some businesses, this might be like a slower season and you're kind of coasting through the end of the year. For us, it's just crazy. We have clients that are in this like business to consumer, season of their company, or that's the industry that they're in, and so it becomes crazy time for us because we're doing these last minute holiday promotions and all kinds of fun stuff for them, and also just meeting with new exciting prospective clients too.
Yes.
And so lots of funness happening in our world. But Hannah, before we get started and dive into all things strategic marketing, tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, what you like to do for fun, and how long you've been at Ugly Mug.
Yeah. So like Hannah said, my name is also Hannah. We'll make things nice and confusing, or maybe nice and easy because both of our names are the same. I've been at Ugly Mug for 7 years now. And for my 7th year work anniversary, my coworkers did a really awesome, I mean, you know this, but telling the people, really awesome Glacier National Park themed celebration. So I am a huge fan of Glacier National Park in Montana. In fact, I'm drinking out of my Whitefish Montana cup right now.
I know, I was going to say.
Yeah, so that's a fun fact about me. Big fan of the mountains in the summertime. Just any outdoor beautiful recreation, living in God's creation. No means a hiker like Mara, just really like beauty of outdoors. And yeah, marketing manager here at Ugly Mug, which means that if a client is not just do a website or just social media or just SEO or something like that, they come fall in my department, and we do anything and everything it takes to get them to their goals.
Yeah. And I know that part of that onboarding process with new clients is creating some level of a strategic marketing plan and really diving in to do some research and understanding their business, and maybe asking them questions that they have never even asked themselves or studying their competitors and seeing what they're doing or what their competition looks like in their market. And all of those things are components to developing a strategic marketing plan. And for those that are joining us live or watching this later, obviously that is the topic of today. And so I'm really excited for Hannah to share with us a little bit more of what is a strategic marketing plan? How do we determine what all needs to be included? What is a strategic marketing plan not? Which, if you're on our email list, yesterday I sent out an email talking about what it's not. And so Hannah, before I even get carried away chatting about that, what is a strategic marketing plan?
Yeah, so I mean, it definitely looks different for every single business as far as what the what you dive in and actually put in it. But just overall, it's a cohesive plan of what your goals are, what you're going to do to achieve those goals, anything that you might expect to run like into any roadblocks and how you're going to overcome them, and then just overall anything and everything that you are going to do to help your client achieve success.
Yeah. So what I think a lot of people think of when they think of strategic marketing plan, I think that they have this perception that it's going to be this beautiful document filled with billboards and radio scripts and mock-ups of potential social media campaigns. And the reality is those are the tactics, right? Those are the things that you're actually going to execute and do. But those things aren't the strategy. And a lot of people really get confused. And one of my all-time favorite Wayne quotes, Wayne is the founder of Ugly Mug Marketing and our boss. And I swear I'm not brown nosing, but one of my favorite Wayne quotes is that tactics without strategy leads to magic bullet mentality. And I wrote that in my email yesterday. I wish I could take credit, but it is totally a Wayne quote. But that essentially means that a lot of people have magic bullet mentality. They're like, oh my gosh, okay, we're gonna go on TikTok and we're gonna show up on Facebook and then we're gonna run this Instagram stories ad, and all of those things are gonna help us hit $1 million in our business in our first year open, and that's gonna work. There's no strategy behind that. That's essentially just like throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. And it sounds like, Hannah, that's the exact opposite of what a strategic marketing plan is. It really sounds like it's going to be more words, right? And not so much the pictures and pretty stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, um, reining it in, like a word that I like to use so often with clients or people that I'm just talking to about their marketing in general is like, be realistic. Like,
Mhm.
I know that you want to hang the moon and do all these amazing things and post on your social media page 17 times a day, but that's not realistic and it's not achievable. So I think something else about a strategic marketing plan is just to be very realistic and look at what you've done in the past and what works and what doesn't work and actually come up with a plan that is achievable
Yeah.
to, get growth, but is realistic and something that you can actually do. And then, yeah,
Yeah.
just kind of like diving into that, or maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but just like as
No,
far as
go.
okay, yeah. So as far as like what that looks like, and even just this morning, I had a meeting with a client before I hopped on this call, and talking about really like, okay, audit what audit's a fancy word, but go back and look at what you did last year, what worked, what didn't work.
Yeah.
We had a client like lead generation ads work really, really well for a lot of our clients. And for this particular client, they're like, they're not working. It's just causing more busy work for our team and it's
Yep.
not working. Like, let's turn that off. Or, we were getting a lot of like wholesale business and we want to focus more on retail business, like actually going through with a fine tooth comb because we are so often we are so deep into the forest that we forget to zoom out and look at all
Yeah.
the big picture. And so it's actually just taking that time to stop, pause, and look at that big picture before you just dive in and just keep doing what you've always done because it's what you've always done.
Yeah. Isn't that like the definition of insanity too? Like doing the same thing over and over, but expecting a different result. And so
Right.
oftentimes people
That's what
end
we do.
up doing that. They're like, okay, well, that's what we did last year. And, but in your example, okay, well, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing, even though we really want to focus more on our retail business and not so much on the wholesale. Well, okay, if we don't actually take that time to have this meeting with you or to have this meeting with our team and discuss, okay, how do we pivot? How do we make that shift from uh, the wholesale business over to retail and make that more of a focus? Okay, one of the questions that I included in my email yesterday is you might ask yourself, what do we need to stop doing in
Yes.
2024? That might be one of the questions that you say and ask your team or ask yourself for your business as you're creating this strategy. And it's kind of a funny or funky question to ask yourself, but it's very valid. Like there could be things or practices like the lead generation campaigns, those actually aren't working. They're creating more busy work. We need to stop doing that. Or maybe we need to stop running ads in general to wholesale so that we can actually allocate those funds to retail, making those changes. So I love all of those points, Hannah. Um,
Yeah.
so auditing, that needs to be one of the steps that we take in putting together this strategic plan. What other things do we need to do as we're preparing to put this plan together?
Yeah. So another way to do that auditing process would be a SWOT analysis. So it sounds
Okay.
fancy, but it's actually very achievable. So SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And so literally, if you Google it, you'll find a million different like templates of how to fill this out, but it's literally like a chart like this. It's SWOT. So strengths and weaknesses are what they sound like. Strengths and weaknesses of your business. So maybe a strength of your business is you have really excellent customer service.
Mhm.
That's an example. Maybe a weakness of your business is that your proposal software is not very pretty and that stumps a lot of people because it has a lot of flukes. Just thinking
Yeah.
of random things on that. So thinking of random things. So your strengths and your weaknesses are things internal and things that you have the ability to change or improve. Whereas the opportunities and threats are more things outside of your business. So opportunities or threats. So, for example, like a threat, let's say if you're a copywriter, like maybe all of this AI stuff coming out is a actual threat on your business. So that would
Yeah.
be in the threats category. And so it is just taking the time to acknowledge the things that are actually happening
Yeah.
and saying, yes, this is a threat. I'm not going to turn the other way and put my blinders on. I'm going to look at it and figure out what I can do to overcome that obstacle.
Yes, yes. Another threat could be a competitor coming into the market or just more businesses like yours coming into your market and potentially taking your customers. Another threat, something that I'm seeing a lot is just rising costs of cost per click or in the PPC world or in the social media world or cost per leads too going up. And so that can be another threat. And again, it's to not turn that blind eye to it, but to acknowledge it and figure out, all right, how are we going to overcome that? And some of that might come in that opportunities column. So maybe you have an opportunity
Yeah.
to grow into a new market or to pivot from that wholesale world into retail, or maybe there's an opportunity for you to use a new marketing channel or outlet, or to grow an email list because you don't currently have one. Like those could all be opportunities, right?
Yeah, yeah. Or even maybe an opportunity is to reach, maybe a competitor close down shop in a neighboring city. And so maybe that's an opportunity that you're going to open up a secondary location or start delivering to that area or something like that. So it's
Yeah.
definitely good to just push the pause button and look at all of those big things.
Yeah. So that's how we reflect on the past, taking that fine tooth comb, auditing, doing the SWOT analysis. But then there comes this like forward looking moment too, right? When we're putting together the strategic marketing plan, and that is establishing goals. I know that that's a key part. So can you speak to goal setting a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So SMART goals. I know Hannah's heard this, but I'm sure people on
Yeah.
here have heard it as well. So SMART, I'm probably going to miss one, but it's what is it? Strategic, measurable, achievable, realistic,
Yeah.
time bound. I'm probably got one of those wrong, but it's just saying like your goal should be very specific. So you don't want to say like we want to get more money in 2024. Be very specific. We want to grow by 10%. We want to do this. Or maybe it is not necessarily a financial goal. Maybe it's you want to improve efficiency. So if you are a retail business and you typically ship out 100 orders a day, maybe you want to increase your efficiency to ship out 105 orders a day or something like that. So it's just being very specific and putting a timeline on that. And then we love internally taking that huge goal. So, in 12 months, I want to get here. So, how can I break that down and determine little bitty steps along the way to get there? So, we know that we want to create this plan. So you need to figure out where you want to go so that you can work backwards to figure
Mm,
out the steps to get there. Because if you just
yes.
work here, you don't know where you're going to end up. So kind of starting and figuring out what your finish line is and where you want to get so that you can kind of backfill with what you need to do to make that happen.
Yes, exactly. So often with that magic bullet mentality and throwing spaghetti at the wall, that happens because people don't have that vision or they don't have that clearly established goal, or there isn't buy-in from their entire team on, hey, this is what we're working towards as an entire team. Collectively, we need to be asking ourselves this question every time we make a decision. Is this going to help us get to 105 orders shipped a day? Or is this decision or is this tactic going to help us achieve 20% growth by the end of the year, or help us get to, $60,000 in revenue by the end of this month so that we can work towards, whatever that overarching goal is. That's key to creating this plan. So SWOT analysis, audit, goal. That's clear. We need to have those things in place. Is there anything else as far as determining what needs to be included?
I think that's a really good foundation, but I just want to reiterate on something that you touched on is really getting your entire team's buy-in and keeping them
Mm,
posted along the way. So Ugly Mug internally, we have a meeting every single Monday, and our owner, Wayne, shows where we are monetarily and is very transparent with us. And our departments are transparent with one another. Another
yeah.
example, we are doing marketing for a client and they have a goal of Eventbrite registrations, but initially I didn't have the login information. And it's the analogy of like you're trying to bowl and you throw a bowling ball down, but then you turn around and you don't know what you hit or what you didn't hit. So like how do you know where to throw the next ball? You don't know. And so I, explained to our client, like, we would love to help you do this marketing, but I would love to have access to that Eventbrite page. So on a daily basis, I can go in and check and are we getting there or are we not? And the same thing is true with having your team's buy-in is that they need to have that buy-in. So on a daily basis, they know things are going well, things are not going well, and we need to adjust accordingly. It's not like this is the plan, we're gonna put it on the wall and we're gonna just do what it says to do every single day. It's so important to constantly reevaluate and pivot as needed.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The transparency across departments for us, I feel like, is crucial in us having that big picture understanding of where do we need to go. It also allows the opportunity for people to jump in and help in other places too, right? It prevents that siloed mentality of this department or this business unit within our company is working and doing this, and you don't even know that another business unit might be struggling, and maybe you have a resource or a tool or an idea or something that could really help and catapult them into growth. But if you're not openly sharing those numbers or having those conversations, it's a missed opportunity. And so transparency
For
across the
sure.
board is key when you are setting those goals. Completely agree with Hannah. But
Yeah.
let's dive into those three key components of that strategic marketing plan. For those of you who are not on our email list, three things that I talked about in the email yesterday are actually three different things than from what Hannah is going to talk about. So if you're on our email list, you got three things. You're getting another three things today. That means you're going to have 6 ideas that you can include in your strategic marketing plan. Real quickly, because I don't want to steal Hannah's spotlight and shine here.
No, go
But
for
real
it.
quickly, the things that I mentioned were the SWOT analysis. We're setting those goals. So really, okay, you are kind of getting everything here. But another thing that I included was establishing your customer avatar. And spoiler alert, we're going to post about this tomorrow on the Ugly Mug Marketing Facebook and Instagram. But establishing that ideal customer avatar, and the reality is you're probably going to have multiple avatars. And I'm going to keep running with Hannah's example of wholesale versus
Yep.
retail versus maybe a different type of customer. Those are all three different types of customers that maybe your business serves, but you need to touch them there's different ways of getting in front of them, right? Or different ways that you need to market to each of those individuals or those types of customers. And so working through some sort of customer avatar worksheet or exercise is going to be key. And so that's what I included in the email. You got a little bit of that here today. You're going to see some more of that tomorrow. But Hannah, let's dive into your three key components and fundamentals of a strategic marketing plan.
Yeah, for sure. And I was going to preface this without even knowing you were going to say that is like, these are just my three things. These are not like the end all be all. These are just things that I personally think that one should consider when working on their strategic plan. So the three things that I am recommending are looking at your budget, doing a content calendar, and I'll obviously dive into these a little bit more, and then building and nurturing client relationships. So gonna just start with the first one, budget. So, like it or not, we all know that that's budget kind of restrains or dictates what we can and cannot do. So I think just you are probably sick of hearing me say the word realistic, but it's true. Like, yeah, we might want to fly a blimp around Alexandria, but if that's not in our budget, like we don't need to put that in our strategic plan. So really looking at the budget and figuring out what you can and cannot do is super important. So allocating your overall budget and putting that in, dictating what you want to do with that budget. But it also circles back to what Hannah was just saying. So figuring out your customer avatar. So if you want to really target this type of customer, and if that type of customer is, a male that's 54 years old, you don't need to be on TikTok.
Yeah.
So allocating that budget strategically to get you to your goal that we already talked about, and to your customer avatar, to the specific target audience that you're trying to reach.
Yeah. I think too with budget, one thing that we've talked about a lot in the past is the difference between marketing to complete strangers versus marketing to your existing customers. And for some businesses, that works. Sometimes your business, like a restaurant, people can come and eat and eat and eat and eat as many times as they want to your restaurant. For others, they might be selling a product that's kind of a once in a lifetime purchase, or maybe once every, 5 or 6 years purchase. Or, I think of like a mattress. You're probably not buying a new mattress every single year, but that's like one big purchase that you might make once every, I don't know, 6 to 10 years, whatever it may be, depending on the quality of the mattress. And so be thinking about that when it comes to your budget as well. How much of my budget is going towards attracting new customers, which just inherently it's going to cost more to attract those new customers, versus marketing to your existing customers. It's going to cost less. They already know you. They already like you. They already trust you. They've already experienced you. Do you have something to say on that?
Oh yeah, I was going to say it's 5 times more expensive to,
Yes.
Sorry, that's why I was doing that. It's 5 times more.
I was like, are you raising your hand? What are we doing here?
No, sorry. I was like kind of talking to myself, and yes, it is 5 times more expensive to market to a new customer versus to an existing customer.
Yeah. So budget is key. Like, be thinking about that too as you're putting together that budget. But let's move to the next one, content calendar.
Yeah, content calendar. So circling back to what Hannah said at the very beginning of this call, we are not saying figuring out what every single one of those Facebook posts are and what they're going to say and what the graphics are going to look like and all those things. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is, it's my word again, being realistic. So if you decided that you're going to post once every single week on Facebook, like actually plan out your calendar saying like, okay, here's the 4 days in this month that, I'm going to plan on posting. And then whatever your other things are as well. So just going ahead and putting it on your calendar and blocking out time, because if you try to, so many people try to plug in marketing when they have the time, and it often gets put on the back burner because it is not readily on their calendar. So blocking off time on your calendar to work on what you want to achieve. So if you've decided at the beginning that you're going to do, one Facebook post a week, and you're going to do an email newsletter per month, and this, that, and the other, actually put that on your calendar so that you will actually have time to achieve that goal.
Yes, absolutely. And we have a content calendar at Ugly Mug. I've been kind of playing around with it. It's not perfect, but if that's a tool that you are interested in having or seeing, let us know in the comments. I'm more than happy to make a copy of that and share that with you. It's no secret. It's just what we've been trying to implement and work on and grow towards ourselves. And it's exactly what Hannah said. It does not detail what the post is going to say. It simply says, all right, Monday, it looks exactly like a calendar, spoiler alert. And it just
it's very good.
But it's color coded, and it says, okay, here's the posts that are going to be going out on this day. Here's the platforms that we want those posts to go out on. Is there also an email going out on this day? Great. Here's the topic or the subject line for that particular email. I see Pat is saying, I would love to see an example of your content calendar. Amazing, Pat. I'll make sure I get that over to you. But it's just where we go to get organized. And then, 2 weeks before the month starts, internally, we have a meeting and we say, all right, now let's actually go and put together all of the content. Let's write all of the emails. Let's collect all of the information that we might need from other people on our team. Let's actually create the graphics, which Abby on our team is in charge of. She has such a great eye for design. So she's tasked with that. She makes sure that our Instagram grid is looking absolutely beautiful. And I think that that is a really great place to, again, say, all right, this is because you might actually be saying, okay, I want to show up 4 times a week on social media on all these different platforms. And then I want to send out 2 emails every month. And when you actually see it on the calendar, you might start thinking like,
I don't have time for that.
yeah, it's not realistic. And so I think just actually having that visual representation of it too is super helpful. So I see Matthew is on LinkedIn too, and he said that'd be dope. So yes, Matthew, I'll make sure I send that over to you in a LinkedIn DM as well.
Yeah.
So
And a
just
quick
wanted to
shout
quick,
out. Oh, I was just gonna say quick shout out to Hannah. That is definitely one of her like strengths. Like, wait till you see this document. Like, definitely request it. It's awesome. In fact, send it to me as well.
yes, it's a great starting point. All right, Jill, it's a great starting
It
point.
is. You're being humble.
Thanks for the shout out, Hannah. Next one was building and nurturing relationships and customer service. Let's talk about that real quick here in our last 5 minutes together.
Yeah. So we define marketing as the ability to attract and keep clients. And so often than not, we forget about the attracting part. And just like Hannah was talking about earlier, how much more expensive it is to attract new people. And so figuring out what you can do to create recurring clients that turn into evangelists and
Mm,
stay clients. So,
yeah.
actually spending that time to make sure that they are getting an excellent customer experience. We highly recommend. I don't know if you've talked about it before, Hannah, but there's this guy named Ron Kaufman that talks all about
Mhm.
customer service, and it talks about how like what you did yesterday then becomes expected, and it's this escalator of success. So just
Yeah.
I feel like that is so often forgotten. Like you're trying so hard to reach a goal and a monetary goal and grow that you forget who you already have and who's already helping you generate revenue. So just taking time to stop and think about how you can deliver exceptional customer service to your current clients as well.
Yeah. And when Hannah says evangelist, she's talking about something that we discuss on a regular basis. I feel like it always comes up in conversation with our clients, whether we're having a monthly meeting or we're sending them their weekly update. But this idea of the natural progression, and it's taking someone from being a stranger, turning them into a friend, then turning them into a customer. And then that's where people oftentimes think that the relationship or the journey ends. But when we provide that remarkable customer service that Hannah's talking about, it turns them into an evangelist. It makes them want to rant and rave about our business or our product or our service to all of their friends and family, to recommend us, which is probably the highest compliment we can receive as a business,
Absolutely.
is when someone recommends our product or service to a friend or to a family member. And it takes out the stranger part, right? Like it immediately turns that person into a friend, and it makes the cycle a little bit quicker, because we all know that moving someone from that stranger into the customer phase is can be a little bit of a long journey, right? Like and I'm like, sometimes people stay in the friend zone for a while. Like they follow us on social media, they're an admirer from a distance, but they don't actually buy from us. It might take them a little bit of time before they actually really trust us enough to make that purchase. And so, working on even looking at that customer base, like Hannah said, and like, how can I create something so remarkable, so worthy of remark, so exciting or special or unique for them that they're going to want to tell their friends and family members about us, about our company, about our products or service, and what they've experienced with us. So important and so good.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Well, all right, y'all. We have covered a lot here in these 30 minutes. So I just want a quick recap. Hannah first talked to us about auditing, and I'm talking about the other Hannah. I'm not talking in third person. Okay. Hannah talked to us about auditing your current marketing efforts. So doing a SWOT analysis, looking at your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, doing an audit and asking yourself or your team, what do we need to stop doing in 2024? That might be a really great question to get the gears turning. Then Hannah also talked to us about goals, So defining specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, SMART, goals for 2024. And we talked about the importance of having buy-in from your team members and the transparency and how much that can help get people on board and really catapult you to making progress and getting to success quicker in 2024. And then Hannah shared with us the 3 components of strategic marketing plan. So she included budget, creating that content calendar, and building and nurturing those relationships and having really remarkable customer service so that you can turn your customers into evangelists for your business. Like I mentioned too, we are going to be talking about customer avatars tomorrow on our page. So go and check out our Instagram and Facebook for more content around customer avatars and how to determine who those people are. And we're actually going to include a really great exercise, PDF, links, all kinds of fun stuff to that. I do see some people in the comments that want our content calendar example, or what was another thing that I said I was going to share?
Customer avatar. Maybe.
Oh, and I can share customer avatar worksheet with y'all too, if that's something that's helpful. And so I will send those DMs accordingly after we get off the show here. But Hannah, thanks so much for making time for me today. Like I said, this is a busy season at Ugly Mug, and so I really appreciate you making time and space for this. If you guys have any questions, whether you're catching us live or you're watching the replay, feel free to leave those in the comments. We do come back, we do respond, we do pay attention, and we want to have that interaction and answer those questions with y'all. So feel free to hang out in the comments and we will get back to you just as quick as we can. Thank you guys again for joining us. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, time out. Sorry, I didn't warn you about this. I just want to make sure I got you before we logged off. Yes. So something that we've been offering to our newsletter subscribers and wanted to open it up to you guys, especially you that are live, because there's only a certain number of slots available. So y'all will get priority. And then if somebody's watching this as a recap and there are still slots available, like go at it. But something that we do is do just a quick 15-minute chat with me directly. So it's a Zoom chat. I think Hannah's probably going to post the link here in the comments.
Right now.
So so there will be a link in the comments to my calendar if you want to just get on a quick 15-minute chat with me, go over maybe any specific questions or challenges that you're having marketing wise that I can help offer recommendations. So what that looks like is we just chat for about 15 minutes. I'll ask you a bunch of questions just to really get to know your business and your challenges. And then I'll send you a recap email of just some resources that I think would be helpful. It is absolutely not a sales pitch. It is not pushy. It is none of those things. It is just a generous, I think I called it like a Christmas give back situation. So if there's anything that I can do to jump on Zoom with you and share, that's available.
Yes, I just dropped the link to that on it looks like it just went to Facebook and LinkedIn. So I will go, Facebook and YouTube. So I will go and manually put that in the comment section on LinkedIn so that you folks watching on LinkedIn also have access to that. But y'all take advantage of this. Hannah has so much experience and knowledge and wisdom that she can impart on you. And it will be the best 15 minutes that you ever spent.
You can actually get a lot of accomplished in 15 minutes. Yes.
I know you might be thinking only 15 minutes. No. You might be thinking only 15 minutes, but just think about what we accomplished here in 30 minutes. So it is definitely worthwhile for your time. So take advantage of that. That link is in the comments. Like I said, I'll follow up with each of you in your DMs with the content calendar, any other resources that we can help you with. Thank you all so much for joining us. Hannah, thanks again. And we'll catch y'all next week for another edition of Coffee Chats. I am so excited about next week. I was excited about this week. Don't get me wrong, Hannah. But next week we have a external guest joining us. His name is Gavin Adams. Gavin is an author. He is a wildly talented marketer, business coach, consultant, and Gavin has a new book coming out in 2024. And I am so excited, guys. We are going to be I'm so excited. We're going to be diving into all things leadership related, and it's awesome. The book is phenomenal. I'm so excited for it to be released, and we are going to be getting an exclusive sneak peek into all the things behind the scenes with Gavin's book. I can't wait for you guys to meet Gavin. So make sure you show up here next week, Wednesday, on Coffee Chats, streaming live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Okay, we're really saying goodbye now. This has been the longest goodbye ever.
Sorry.
We will catch y'all. No, it's all good.
All right.
We will catch y'all next week. See y'all next time.
See you later.